eSports Canada rassemble une communauté de joueurs sur les terres autochtones traditionnelles de l'île de la Tortue. Bien que nous rencontrions sur une plateforme virtuelle, nous respectons les terres, nos CD et traités sur lesquels nous nous trouvons et reconnaissons les torts et les erreurs du passé et du présent. Nous devons établir des alliances authentiques avec les communautés autochtones dans un esprit de réconciliation et de coopération.
eSport Canada brings together a community of gamers on the traditional Indigenous lands of Turtle Island. While we meet on a virtual platform, we respect the unceded and treated lands we are on and acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past and present. We dedicate ourselves to authentic alliances with Indigenous communities in a spirit of reconciliation and cooperation.
Welcome, Rocket League fans, from Vancouver to Newfoundland.
JK plays it, puts it right into the post.
Can they get it? Winter scores off of the backhand of Rosa.
Bring up the wall. A champion go for a second touch. The demo. Yeah, boom.
A lot of space, going for the second touch, and he does. What a save from Gus! Oh my gosh, someone clip that.
Welcome everyone to eSport Canada's Scholastic Nationals 2025. We're thrilled to have you here with us as we dive headfirst into some heart-pounding action with Rocket League tournament. I'm Nate Goes Live. Alongside with me in the broadcast booth is Rage Quit Andy. We've got an explosive lineup today as Canada's top under 15 talent battles it out for the championship. Today started with 16 teams from across Canada, and now only 8 remain. So let's take a look at our first matchup of the night and which teams are still in the tournament. Here's your top 8 teams as we head into the quarterfinals. Matches will be a best of 5. We're setting up to get into the first one, which is starting in just a few minutes. We're going to be spectating the Team Parrot versus the Valkyries match. So grab yourself a snack, get comfortable. We'll be back in just a few minutes with our first game of the day. Make sure to click like and subscribe on this YouTube channel, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. And here we go. Teams taking the pitch for our first game of the day. Team Parrot in blue, and the Vimy Valkyries in orange. As we watch, here come the Dragons trying to get out of their net, chipping over the center line, stopped by Bones. And the Valkyries still pushing in, working through the corner. Stopped by Rocket, who's on the side wall now. Taken over by Candy. Lost control a little bit. The ball's now floating in front as the Valkyries push it all the way back and almost found its way into the net. Kind of a quick stop by the Parrots here. Here's Bones on the back wall. Chips all the way to center. Candy now, heading up. Off the back wall, double touch, stays wide. A second shot from Bones hits the crossbar. As the Parrots now are pushing on the attack. Here's Candy. Great setup, but the shot stays high.
Here's Arctic off the side wall, trying to bring it in. Just misses that second touch. And swept away by Bones. Now the counterattack from the Parrots coming in. Wisely stopped there by Arctic. Dragon and Smang gonna push this towards the net. Get a shot on net. Soft one. Bones is there to make the save. There's Arctic trying to push it on. Rocket wisely sweeps that one away. Candy and Rocket kind of fighting for it off the sideline. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication, allowing Dragon to get up and block that one. And then Smang able to get that back down into the Parrots' end.
Bones moving over the center line. Over to Rocket. Rocket's going to try to get a second touch. Does. It stays wide. And Dragon now going to push back. A little bit of a pinch. Heads back into the Team Parrot corner. Arctic tries to chip through and get something set up. But Candy putting a stop to that immediately. Ground pinch from Candy. Goes straight to Dragon. Rocket picking that up. Hitting the sidewall. Nothing came of it. Quick demo on Dragon from Bones. As the Valkyries are setting up a play. Great stop there in front of the net. Didn't register as a save, but Bones kind of keeping that one out of harm's way. Here's a setup now. Bones made it all the way down. Didn't get a shot. As Candy couldn't make the connection through the corner. Bones now heading over the center line. Teams battling for possession. Rocket from midfield. What a stop, though, as the Valkyries don't let that attack even get started. Just past the halfway mark in Game 1 in a best-of-5 series here. That's looking dangerous. And a goal.
Oh, Dragon almost pushing this one too far for their teammate, but gets just the soft touch, allowing Smang to come through. Bones almost getting there. Dragon kind of playing a little defense, and that gives the Vimy team the first goal of the game. 1-0, just under 2.5 here to play. Smang trying to get something going in the midfield, blocked by Bones. Good defensive play here by both teams as Candy gets a shot off the post. Swept away by the Vimy team. Here's Arctic now at the midfield. Can't get it past Candy. Dragon just missing that defensive flip, allowing Candy to get something off the back wall to a teammate. Both Parrots fly through, missing that one. Giving the Vimy team a full shot all the way down. Nobody able to make a run at the net, though, as we've got a defensive stalemate of a game thus far, Nate.
Moving quickly. 1.5 minutes left. If Parrot wants to get something on the board, and they do. Here's Rocket working through the corner, grabbing possession. It's bopped up, though, and left behind for Dragon. Moving over the center line. Rocket in the corner. Stops that attack. Smangos with a chip. It's sent back to midfield. Here's Candy looking to capitalize. Will that be low enough? It's not. Just high of the net. That would have been a great opportunity. Second shot. Again, high of the net. Look at the Parrots go. Here's a third opportunity. Bones couldn't make it happen. Parrot really pushing here as we cross the final minute of play.
Yeah, Rocket coming off the sidewall, looking to get down to a teammate. Nobody there. Two Valkyries able to corral in midfield. As Arctic is up. Misses that touch. Two teammates not able to get there in time. So now Bones trying to get a pinch back to Candy, who eyes this one, wisely plays it slow to get it into the attacking zone. But Smangos able to clear that one away. Rocket just missing that touch. So Bones and Candy having to circle back to play some defense. Rocket takes a great shot off the crossbar and ties this one with 26 seconds. Great pass here from Candy. Gets some help from the defenders, and Rocket makes no mistakes.
Well, great play by Rocket. They're jumping to get into a position where they weren't going to hit that ball too high of the net. Great mechanics, fast thinking. As this was a tied game now with 20 seconds left on the clock. Our first game of the day here. Quite an exciting matchup. Here's Bones. Shot on. What a save by Arctic. Here's Rocket looking for another chance. And the Valkyries now teaming up, all three players, trying to keep this thing out from finding the lace of the net. Dangerously in front. Can Bones do it? Just in time. 1 second left. Here's a goal by Bones.
Unbelievable moment in Rocket League history. 1 second remaining. Smango's just not able to get in time. Gets the demo, but the shot from Bones gets through. We've seen goals scored and with zeros on the clock before, but Rocket from the Parrots wisely playing this one to touch the ground. And the Parrots are going to take the first game of this best-of-5 series. Wow, what a nail-biter that one was, Nate.
Yeah, it's amazing what can happen in the last minute of play. I mean, 1 minute of Rocket League play is a lot of time. So you watch the Parrots there go from behind 1 point at the 90-second mark, and then with 1 second of play, avoiding the overtime pressure. So this is a best-of-5 series. There are 3 other quarterfinal matches taking place right now. So after this, we'll take a look and see what the bracket looks like. This one far from over. Best-of-5 series. First game going to the Parrots. As we head into match number 2, the players have taken the pitch. And back into the action we go. Parrots in blue. The Valkyries in orange. Here's the kickoff. Candy, great pinch. It's going to go out of the corner all the way through. Must save. Candy gets an unfortunate bounce off the defender's car.
Yeah, Candy, sometimes the best offense is a good defense. Dragon just not able to get back in time. Not much they could do. Ball going in regardless. Valiant effort to get back in time. So just 5 seconds in, the Parrots take a 1-0 lead. Dragon there in time for that ball. Here's Smangos. Not able to get there in time, and Candy with the second goal in just 15 seconds. Great heads-up play by Candy, pre-jumping that touch. And it's now 2-0 for the Team Parrot.
Yeah, beautiful pre-jump there. Candy showing off some great mechanics here. So that kickoff was left. Rocket dragging their feet a little bit. And able to get possession briefly, though, as Arctic now has turned things around, came back over the midfield. Dragon back in their corner, looking for a long hit, loses control in the corner. This is dangerous. What a save by Arctic. That was a little too close for comfort, as Vimy doesn't have room to go down 3 goals here. Ball bouncing high on the side wall. It's Candy looking to grab it. Bones not far behind. Here's Bones looking for the play. Arctic again with a great save. Arctic with a chance here. Couldn't make the connection. Rocket clearing that one away before it got any worse. Arctic again looking for a play setup here. So off the corner it goes. Candy steals possession over the midfield line. And Candy sort of losing possession. The ball stays wide thanks to Dragon, who keeps that thing from getting in front of the net. And Rocket kind of finding the nose of their car. Fortunately, nothing came of that. Here's Dragon setting up. They're by themselves, so Candy's going to clear that away back into the corner. Bones helping out. Candy with the second. Doesn't get it. Rocket with a must save. Great save there. As Bones now looking to clear this past, get it out of the defensive zone.
Yeah, all defenders there struggling for some boost. Great pressure here by the Valkyries. Great pass out front by Arctic. Nobody there able to connect, so Bones is going to be able to send this back into the Valkyrie end. Great pass out. Dragon, though, going to read it, clear it back down to about the midfield where Rocket collects. And here's Rocket now, taking some time, being patient, going for the fake musty. Smanglos not going to fall for it. Gets it back out to midfield where Dragon's going to send it up for Arctic, who tries to get a touch on it, just sends it wide. Now Bones going to send this one back down into the Vimy end. Dragon and Smanglos both up for it. Couple of fakes. No attacker able to get a touch on it. So Arctic able to get it over Candy. Working with Smanglos. Ball kind of just floating around the midfield right now. Nobody really taking possession. As I say that, here's Arctic with a great chance, and Rocket makes a great save to keep this one tied. Not tied. Keep them up 2-0.
Well, 2 minutes left. Lots of time left. Here's Bones looking for another goal. That's going to go in. Great shot by Bones. Just avoiding the upper crossbar here. 3-goal lead for the Parrots. They've really found their groove.
Yeah, perfect read here by Bones, seeing that they got 2 defenders to their right, nobody in front of the net, so might as well take a shot. Able to put this one up 3-0. Bones getting the better of that kickoff as Rocket's now going to come through. Pre-jumps the Dragon defensive bump. And Arctic, Cindy, and Bones coming together in the middle, and Candy getting the better of that exchange, and we've got a 4-0 game for our Team Parrot.
I mean, it could be Cindy. We don't actually know, but Candy it is for today. So 4 goals up. Our Team Parrot probably feeling pretty good, but you don't want to get complacent. Not in a quarterfinal round. Here's one looking for the back of the net as the Valkyries avoid total disaster there off a kickoff. Arctic starting some pressure. Here's an attack. Candy looking to grab possession, clear it away. Dragon able to get involved, get a backboard shot, and the follow-up goes wide from Sangros. So Candy getting
now.
something. Oh. Sorry. No worries. Here's Rocket now over the center line. Smangos grabs possession. They need to get really fired up here as there's 90 seconds left, and this one is slipping away from the Vimy Valkyries.
A great little corral here by Bones, able to just sneak that past Arctic in the air. This is as good a time as any to let you know a little bit about a couple of these teams that we've got here. The Vimy Valkyries are Canada's first and possibly only public school esports academy. Grades 7 to 12. They've raised almost $30,000 for the Stollery Children's Hospital through the Extra Life Gaming Marathon. And this team that we're watching here in the under 15s is made up entirely of grade 7 rookies to the academy, putting on a wonderful performance, getting to the quarterfinals thus far. They're only down a game, potentially 2 after this one, but plenty of time to come back. This is a best of 5 series as Rocket sends that one out of harm's way, and Bones making a wonderful diving backflip save. Good pressure here from the Valkyries, trying to get something on the board headed into the final 30 seconds of this match.
And stopped at midfield is Candy. So this one's definitely going to the Parrots, Andy. And we'll tell the viewers a little bit more about Extra Life a little further on in the broadcast. As far as I understand, we will be switching servers to accommodate the away team after this match. Is that right?
I believe that is the plan. We do 2 and 2, and then if there's a game 5, it goes back to a random decision. This one happening to be the Parrots server for game 5 if we get there.
Well, there you have
so
it.
That's how this one's going to finish. Parrots taking it 2-0 for the first, 5-0, but taking a 2-0 lead in the series. So we'll be back in just a moment as we switch servers and get back into some more fantastic Scholastic National Esports.
Why Extra Life? I Extra Life to make a difference. Through Extra Life, we're able to bring in thousands upon thousands of dollars for our hospital foundation. When we raise money for the kids, like our champion kid Nico, we're able to make a difference in their lives by being able to have a facility where they're able to get the treatment they need in our own province.
You sign up online, you pick the hospital you're going to support, raise money for family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, etc., and then play games.
You can go to extra-life.org for all the information you need to sign up and start doing Extra Life yourself.
It's just fun to do it. You can build such a community with friends, like some of my lifelong friends I've met through Scholastic United and stuff like that. Whether you do a big production or a small little game night at your house, there's so many options and so many ways to do it that it's accessible to everyone.
It's a great community. Everyone's in it for the same reason. They're all playing in support of kids' health or playing games for kids that may not be able to.
Doesn't matter if you fundraise $10, $100, or $1,000. Every dollar really does help.
You don't have to be the most hardcore of gamers to get involved. If playing games is something you enjoy doing and it's something that you're already doing, Extra Life is the way to take it, embrace that fun, and do something more than what you could do yourself. Be proactive, jump at it through Facebook, through extra-life.org. Reach out to your local hospital, they'll know more. Hop onto the Extra Life Discord, find local gamers. If your hospital doesn't have a guild, get out there, form one, and just keep going.
And we are back for game number 3 between Team Parrot and the Vimy Valkyries. Players have taken the pitch, and we are waiting for the kickoff.
Looks like we've had a substitution here on the Vimy side as Rylian coming in for Dragon. The Bones getting a demo in the midfield on Arctic as Candy's going to send this down into the end. Circle back to try and get some boost. Arctic trying to get a ground pinch, blocked by Rocket. Here's Bones now from the midfield, going up defensively, trying to get the touch. Plays it perfectly between two defenders, and Parrots are going to take the lead just 25 seconds into this one.
Yeah, Bones going up. You'll notice there Candy backing off, leaving room. Two attackers going up and totally in sync with each other, making the right move there. Kickoff now as Candy and Arctic go at it. Smango's there to back up, but then it's knocked out of position. Smango's in a great spot there to try to get a shot on net. This is a dangerous bounce down. Must save by Bones. Rocket there to help out. Parrots crossing over the midfield line. Candy with another great trick. Finds the backboard, unfortunately. Here's Bones. Shot goes wide. No, not quite wide. Parrots up another goal.
Yeah, just not an early enough jump here by the defensive team. All three players just not able to get there in time. 2-0 for the Parrots. And while we're in our third game here, I'll give you a little insight on this team, Parrots. They were the finalist in last year's event. All three players are in grade 8 this year, and they're going to be graduating. They return to the competition to try and redeem themselves and fight for the top prize of first place this year. They've been known to wear parrot costumes during their competitions, hence the name Team Parrot, even though they're from the Holy Family Catholic School. Candy going up, can't get around Arctic, but Rocket there able to play some good defense. Tries to get a pass out front, nobody there. So Smangloss just going to kind of send it back down, but Candy's going to intercept. Now trying to get a pass off the back wall. Rocket not able to get up in time to get that shot towards the net. Candy, though, going to corral. Great save there by Arctic. Reading perfectly. Rocket comes in with a second shot. Not able to get enough of that one is Arctic. Wonderful defense here by Arctic. Just not able to stop the onslaught from this Parrot team.
That's a lot of pressure for a goaltender to deal with. Arctic almost getting that second save, and they've been doing a great job with a lot of these must-save plays. Here's Candy going over the center line. Straight over Smangos. Arctic able to try to put a stop to it. That didn't work out as Rocket jamming the ball forward towards the Valkyries' net. Here's a chip from Bones. Two teammates there to help. Arctic could have an open net here. Unfortunately goes wide. Second opportunity missed. Here's a Smangos shot. That one finds its way in. And a great rebound by the Valkyries to get on the scoreboard.
Not sure if that was an intentional miss there by Arctic or not to bait a defender and leave it for their teammate Smangos. But great play there from the Vimy team to get this one back to within 3. Plenty of time left on the clock. Arctic with another great save off the kickoff shot from Bones. Candy not able to get up in time for that one, so Bones is going to come in, tries to play something off the backboard. There's Rocket to get that pass. Not enough on it as Raelian able to get a save. Here's Smangos trying to get something over the defense in the midline. Takes 2 Vimy players to do so. Not able to get a shot across as Candy sends it to the far side where Rocket's going to collect. Try and get something past Arctic, who's there on that back wall. Being a steel wall of defense for this Vimy team.
Here's Smangos looking for a ground pinch. Runs into 2 defenders from Parrot. Candy over to Bones. Bones loses control. They're going to have to try again here. Rocket and Candy nudging each other a little bit. So they're still on the defense. Here's Arctic up high. Off the backboard. Doesn't get the second touch. 3 defenders there, keeping it out of harm's way. Rocket now working the sidewall over midfield, running out of boosts. So Candy going to take over. Bones looking for the rebound. Chips it up real high, has to follow it up. And it gets cleared away by Arctic. Bones able to clean that thing up.
Yeah, Bones just following the bouncing ball here, playing real smart. Pre-jumping this one, making sure the defense can't clear it out. A lot of pressure here from this Parrot team. They're looking to go up and take this series in this first game. This Vimy Valkyries team, though, doesn't have any quit in them. But as I say that, Candy gets a kind of an uncontested kickoff goal here with the speed flip. Just gets there first. Arctic misjudging the touch. And that's going to sneak inside the inside post. 6-1 for this Team Parrot. Now, we do have a 7-goal difference rule here at Esports Canada. So anytime a team goes up by 7 goals, that's going to be the end of the game. And as I say that, Arctic puts a great shot in off the pass from Rylan. 2 defenders not able to corral in the back, and we've got ourselves a 4-goal game again.
100 seconds on the clock, just about, or 99 seconds on the clock. There's enough time. It won't be easy, especially with the pressure that the Parrots have been putting on. But the Vimy Valkyries in a must-win situation here, as this is a best-of-5 series, quarterfinals. So should the Parrots be able to hold on to this lead, they will be going into the semifinals. And just a reminder for anyone watching, we'll take a quick standby after this series, update the bracket, and move straight into the semifinals matches. Here's Rylan looking to clear this thing out. We have a minute left on the clock. Arctic going over the center line. Able to touch that ball twice, but then it's cleared away by Rocket. And a second hit from Rocket. Maybe going to get a shot here. Not quite. Smango's getting in the way. And Bones passing all the way across to Rocket. Candy not far behind. Able to get involved with the play. They go over Ryland. Off the sidewall. Ball sitting midfield now. Both teams fighting for possession. Smangos gets demoed. Not before getting a shot that goes wide into the corner. Arctic taking possession. Looking for a teammate. And a couple of defenders from Team Parrot corralling that ball. Keeping the attack from getting any further. Here's Rocket now. Sort of playing midfield. Two defenders in net. A must save by Candy, chipping it up and high of the crossbar. 10 seconds left on the clock here. Rocket chipping up high. Slow floater. And this thing is going to go to Team Parrot as they move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, well done by the Vimy Valkyries. Valiantly fought. But this Team Parrot, as I said earlier, was looking to get back into the finals and redeem themselves from last year. So hard-fought battle. Well done by everyone, and we look forward to the next match. We'll see you there.
Yeah, we're heading to Champions Field next. But in the meanwhile, we're taking a quick standby. We're going to update the bracket, be back with you as soon as possible as the semifinals are scheduled to start now. But we'll need a few minutes to catch up and update all of our data here. So we're taking a standby. We'll be right back with you. Don't go away.
This is the second year that we've been running the Scholastic Esports Expo, C, and this year we really wanted to make it our goal to really promote gender diversity and to really focus in on Indigenous communities as well.
Kelvin High School. Martin Valley Collegiate.
I was a coach a few years ago at a public school. It really showed me how students get motivated and inspired through esports. And then when I started for the First Nation school system, we wanted to bring esports to our remote communities, our First Nation communities, because I thought it was an excellent way for them to network with the province and to compete.
This event, I think it's pretty awesome. I think that being able to get all these people here and get all this organized is a huge feat. I'm just happy to be here.
Oh no, Yoshi couldn't do it.
What a surprise.
We wanted this to target those kids at school that really need an opportunity like this to get out and experience the vendors, the workshops, the panels.
Oh my goodness! Again. Line scores again. And Garden Valley won the series, making them the grand finalists.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen, let's get one more huge cheer for GBC and their Rockin' team.
If we want to see this continue to grow in our province, I need you to start making this really hype. I need you to start telling all of your friends. I need you to start telling all of your family and start letting people know so that you can start building that idea of combining esports in other sports too.
Champions Field.
Here we go. We're back for our next match. The Bears in blue, Team Parrot in orange. It's Team Parrot squeaking by to quarterfinals. We just watched them play. Here's a shot, goes wide. That's Bones looking to get a rebound. Couldn't make the connection. So now the Bears pushing in. Pass all the way across. It's a mutual. It's chipped up and high. Cleared away. Candy now looking across the midfield line. Couldn't do it. A great quick reaction by that guy named Zach, who gets a shot from just about midfield here. A defensive play, hitting it right at the net for the first goal of the game.
Yeah, wonderful touch there. As the Bears take an early 1-0 lead. You got Rocket. Can't beat that guy named Zach to the ball. Candy trying to get a pass over. Rocket not able to connect on that one. So that guy named Zach gonna try and send it out. But Bones comes in to keep the pressure on. No other Parrots around. giving the Bears some time to recoup in their own end, grab some boost, and start their breakout. As Bones going to collect that one in the midfield, put a shot on that guy named Zach has to deal with. There's Debt Distributor trying to get something out, but Candy there every time, seemingly. Rocket going to leave that one for the sidewall for their teammate Bones to deal with. I think it's Mutual Jacket up, not able to corral that touch. So Rocket looking to put a shot on, kind of 50'd and blocked by Mutual Jacket. Bones not able to get a touch on that one. Overdriven, by that guy named Zach. There's Debt Distributor trying to get there. Rocket beats them to it. Guy named Zach going to corral at the midfield line. Gathers a full boost pad. Dekes under one opponent, not able to beat Bones, but the ball dangerously pops up. Cleared away by Rocket again. Mutual Jacket trying to send something out front. Good defense passing off their teammate, stopping that attack. As Candy's going to be able to get this one up and over to put something on net, but that guy named Zach has to make another save. Rocket leaves this one for Bones, who puts a shot up. Saved by Mutual Jacket. This one's going to go all the way down the field and just miss the net. So the Parrots now are going to start their own counterattack.
Here's Zach going up high, trying to get by 3 defenders. 2 goalies in net up and saved by Bones, who's cleared it all the way down. It might find the back of the net. Debt Distributor able to get back in time and block that shot opportunity. Here's a follow-up from Candy, tying the game.
What a perfect shot here by Candy. Over top of a defender who looks like they're in really good position to make that save. Tying this game 1-1, just under halfway to go. We got a nail-biter in this first semifinals match that we're watching. Here's Debt Distributor trying to get something out to a teammate. 2 defenders kind of missed that one. But Candy able to keep it out of harm's way. That guy named Zach now trying to pass something out front. Nobody there. Candy going to sweep that one back to midfield. Rocket now sends it into the Bears' end. Debt Distributor, though, going to grab that one, try and push the play forward. Nobody with them, so they're just going to kind of take some time and deal with the defense as Rocket leaves it for Bones, who gets it back to the midfield. Blocked by Zach. Rocket, though, putting a defensive clear as kind of a shot. Popped up by Rocket at midfield. Bones and Candy both go for the shot. That misses the net. So Zach's going to corral, and that gets sent across where Debt Distributor's going to pick it up in their own corner, trying to get something to Mutual Jacket. They both miss it, so Bones is going to pass this one to a teammate as Candy gets a deflection, and that goes just wide. Rocket and Zach going to collide on the mid wall. Sorry, the side wall, and that ball's going to come out to midfield. Got just over a minute here to play in this first game. Still tied 1-1. Could just be a simple save like that by Debt Distributor that's going to change the course of this game and swing some momentum. There's Mutual Jacket now off the side wall, trying to get something down to a teammate, but Bones is going to be there and just wisely drives past Debt Distributor. That guy named Zach going to take a defensive hit in the midfield, and that goes to a wide open net as the Parrot team are all pinching, trying to get that last second goal. So our Bears are going to take a 2-1 lead with 40 seconds left.
You can't not mention these plays by Debt Distributor, who got a bump, creating the opportunity for that last goal. It was a bump by Debt Distributor who opened up that opportunity. Here's a crossbar. Candy just narrowly missing, tying this game up. Oh, and another save. Not quite enough. Zach doing all they can as Candy with a follow-up.
Yeah, Candy with 3 attempts here. 2 saves, but that third one just overwhelming presence. Tying this one up with 30 seconds left. We might be headed for your favorite, Nate, overtime in this first match of our semifinals. As Mutual Jacket going to leave that one for that guy named Zach, who puts a shot up, saved by Bones. What a hero save that was with 15 seconds left, keeping this one tied up at 2. Down to the final 10 seconds, Mutual Jacket sending this one down No teammates with them to continue that attack as Rocket goes up. And that's how this one's going to end. 2-2 tie, and we're into overtime.
Love me a good overtime. Here's Debt Distributor facing off with Candy, followed up by Mutual Jacket and Bones. The ball ends up just kind of bouncing in the Bears' end as Jacket tries to reclaim possession, hits it all the way over to Rocket, who sent it back. We're battling for possession at midfield. Debt Distributor in net, allowing Jacket to get a clear. Not sure what Candy's doing, traveling backwards. Maybe just throwing Mutual Jacket off. Here's a big clear from Rocket. It's past the midfield line as Zach takes possession. Up on the side wall is Zach. Here's a shot. Doesn't find the backboard, really. Bones working through the corner. Candy not far behind. Jacket opting for the boost here. That was enough to drive the play out. Rocket's got to stop this one. Does so at midfield. Here's Rocket. Hit to the side wall. Mutual Jacket gets kind of a funny bounce, pinching out. It's on the backboard. Bones clearing it away. Off the side wall, Debt Distributor looking to start something. Candy interrupting. Here's a shot. It's low. It's in. And Zach finding the back of the net to get the win here in game one.
I am biting my tongue here. What an unbelievable play there by Zach, just coming in and grabbing that ball right off the bounce, getting the exact touch they need to sneak that one into the corner. And our VGMS Bears are going to take the first match 3-2.
Another really exciting match. The players putting on a show for us today. So we'd like to thank them. We'd like to thank the coaches for making this possible. And we'd like to thank you for joining us here on the OSEA YouTube channel. Make sure to click like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Heading into game number 2 here. Kickoff has already taken place. First game going to the Bears. Candy heading up over the midfield line. Parrots looking to strike early here. So here's Candy going up the side wall. Quarter of a tank boost. Doesn't matter now. They've been taken out. Demoed. Bones and Rocket left to defend that one. At midfield, Jacket just able to get a touch before Team Parrot was able to cross over. So the ball still staying at midfield. There's just Debt Distributor. High shot. It's going to find its way in, maybe. Candy with a great must save. And now Candy with an attack. Zach able to stop that one. Maybe not for long. Here's a second follow-up by Bones. Registers as a shot, but not enough on it. Rocket now in their own corner. Zach rushing in. Shot goes wide. Jacket's taking possession. They're going to corral it back to Debt Distributor, who's found the back wall. It's up high. Rocket claiming possession midair, losing possession on the way down. So Rocket looking for a teammate. They're a little bit late. Candy's got to go up, make the first save. Jacket not able to follow up. So Parrot's able to escape that attack. As Candy crossing the midfield line. Bopping over 2 defenders. Need to get by the third one. It's up, it's high. And we're back at midfield.
Yeah, Candy doing a lot of heavy lifting for this Parrot team early on, making a few really good saves and pushing the offense as the Parrots are looking to get the first goal. Rocket sends this one towards the net. Jacket gonna make a save, not credited, but that was earmarked as a goal if they weren't there. So now Bones off the back wall gets a nice touch to the midfield. No teammates with them, so Debt Distributor able to push it back into the Parrot end. Gets a shot out, or a pass out, excuse me, to the front of the net. No teammates with them again, as Candy gets a nice touch off the side wall to Rocket, who sends this one into the Bears' corner. Looking to get a pass out to a teammate, but Debt Distributor going to wisely send it back where it was coming from to reset that attack from the Parrots. That guy named Zach now sending it down to the midfield, gets by a couple defenders, gets a nice touch on it, but Debt Distributor not able to get the touch off the corner bounce. So Rocket back into the Bears' end. Jacket now emptying that boost take, trying to get to the ball. Guy named Zach follows up, not able to get past Candy, who's playing some incredible defense. Debt Distributor not able to beat Candy as they get an incredible save, but the follow-up from the guy named Zach goes in, and that's going to be the first goal of this match. Some great defensive plays, plenty of chances by both teams. but our Bears are going to take the first lead of this second game.
Again, Debt Distributor setting the play up, right? The initial attack was from Debt Distributor, who was able to get the bump as well, clearing the goalies out and freeing that shot up. So, Debt Distributor, what a playmaker so far in this game. Almost a shot there. Kind of got knocked away to the side. Candy took possession. Another great playmaker so far in this series. Here's Zach heading up high. Gets a touch. Is it going to be enough? It looks like it stayed high. No follow-up as Bones able to get to it quickly and clear it away. Bones into the corner now. Trying to get a pass out. No luck there. Followed up by Rocket, who's stopped by Zach. So we're still in the corner here as Zach chips it back to midfield. Heads back to guard the net. Not much in the boost tank. Here's a chip all the way down. It's pointed at the net. Rocket able to stop it before it got any worse. Here's Rocket now. A low shot. Almost found the bottom corner as Zach cleared that one away. Candy with a pinch straight back to Zach, who chips it towards the net. We're at midfield as Jacket grabs possession. Quick shot, stopped by Bones. It's up high and floating. Candy getting there. Hit high. Zach sending it back into the Parrots' end from midfield. Zach with a second touch, kind of slow bouncing here. Jacket's going to take a shot at it. And just too many defenders from the Parrots to get anything started. So now we're in the Bears' end. 1 minute left for the Parrots to get something on the scoreboard here. Zach working on the corner. Nothing happens. Net Distributor doing the same thing. Kind of a big pileup of cars. Here's Zach. Back wall. Gets by the defense. Mutual Jacket has a chance here, and the shot is just too weak to find the net. So they're going to have to try again here if the Bears want to get that security goal. The Parrots kind of clumped up in the corner, feeling the pressure. Wide open net for Candy. Here it is.
Oh, such an unfortunate touch here by Debt Distributor, trying to just stop the onslaught, but it bumps it away from their teammate, Mutual Jacket. And that's going to be able to tie the game for the Parrots, 1-1. We got another nail-biter here as Candy sends this into the attacking corner off that kickoff. Debt Distributor flips it up over Bones. So Mutual Jacket able to get this into the Parrot end as Mutual Jacket wisely leaves that one for Zach, who puts an impressive shot on it, swept away by this Parrot defense. And it looks like we're going to go to overtime for game 2 if this one touches the ground. And that's how this second game is going to proceed. Tightly contested match. Candy trying to get the better of that one. Bumps the defender out of the way, but guy named Zach there to make the easy clear and get this one back into offensive territory as Bones has to play offense and defense there to keep that out of the net. Debt Distributor going to take that miss at midfield and makes no mistake. And our Bears team is going to take the second match here. 2-1. Same score as the last game. Highly competitive. What a wonderful, wonderful display of esports games we've seen thus far.
You know, we saw in the first series the Parrots come back from a 1-goal deficit, tie it up, go to overtime, and win it in overtime. It looked like we might have been setting up to see the same thing. So what we're going to do now is take a standby, switch servers, and we'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere. As the semifinals continue, the Bears up 2-0, and the Parrots moving into a must-win game. We'll be right back with you. Thanks for tuning in and supporting Canadian Scholastic Esports. we go. Game number 3 between the Bears and the Parrots. A must-win for the Parrots as the Bears are up 2-0. Here's Debt Distributor over top. Got a teammate with it, Zach. Left wide open, but Jacket a little too far back to make anything happen. So here's Debt Distributor looking to set up another play. It's cleared way too far by Rocket, but what a read by Jacket, who gets in front and turns it into a shot.
Yeah, great patience here by Jacket as they just let the ball come to them. They read that pass, and they take an early lead. We've got just 18 seconds off the clock here, so Bones comes flying into that one, blocked by that guy named Zach. So Mutual Jacket going to take that easy ball at midfield, but Rocket coming in, trying to get a play off the back wall. 2 teammates follow up, so that's going to give the guy named Zach a free ride to the net, and it's 2-0 early on here.
Yeah, hard to miss that one, but I've done it. But the Bears saying we take those. So the kickoff now, it's Debt Distributor with Rocket. Rocket able to get it, but it rolled a little too far ahead. Rocket looking to pass back to a teammate. There are 2 there. And sort of a triple pinch with attackers and defenders. So the ball stayed in the corner. Chipped out from Bones. Couldn't find Rocket. It was a great pass there, but no connection made as Debt Distributor crosses the center line, passing over to Zach. Zach finds the backboard with the help of Bones, who was just trying to clear that away. This is dangerous. Zach finding the back of the net. And Andy, what can you tell us about this Bears team?
Yeah, this Bears team, what an incredible performance they've been putting on thus far. This VGMS Bears, they were provincial finalists in the middle years last fall in the Manitoba Rocket League season, taking 2nd place overall. They finished top 8 in the U15 division last fall for Esports Canada in the Scholastic Invitational, so they're looking to improve on that score as Rocket gets a really nice chip shot angled perfectly that this Bears team just can't handle. And I just kind of watching the way this game's unfolding, the Parrots are really trying to push the offensive pressure here. So you're noticing 2 people going for the ball at the same time, just trying to make something happen. And that's what's given some defensive lapses, perhaps, as they're really trying to push the offense here to get some goals on the board and win this must-win game. As Rocket comes flying in, but not able to get that away from Debt Distributor. As Mutual Jacket misses that one, but Debt Distributor going to get a shot off the crossbar. No teammates with them as everybody's circling back for some boost. Debt Distributor doing a little bit of keep away in the offensive zone as Candy not able to get a touch on that one. Guy named Zach puts a shot on. Great save there by Bones. Bones now at the midfield blocks that Mutual Jacket shot. So the Bears are going to have to regroup in their end as the pressure from this Parrot team has been palpable in the last minute or so.
And as it needs to be, looking for Candy, maybe to emerge. Bones able to take a slow shot there. It was cleared away. Rocket gets something out to Candy, but they're sort of getting mixed up here, heading back into their own end. And now on the defense as Debt Distributor trying to set something up. Rocket up high in the corner, chipping out to midfield. Finding an attacker, unfortunately, as Candy clears it back to midfield. Candy with a second touch. Won't find the net now as Zach clears it to the side. Coming over the midfield line. Rocket putting a stop to it. 2 minutes left on the clock. Lots of time. What a pinch! Great play by Bones. Finding a teammate midair and turning it into a shot.
Yeah, this all starts from Rocket's great defense at the midfield line, getting a nice block, stopping the oncoming attack by the Bears. And that's going to bring this one back to a 1-goal game. As that guy named Zach gets a really good touch off that kickoff with 2 defenders coming at them. Guy named Zach and Bones demoing each other up top in the air there, leaving 2v2 as the ball just kind of hangs at midfield. Zach makes a nice play off the backboard gets it over Candy. Goes for a musty flip, just can't quite get the handle. But Mutual Jacket sends it back out front. Bones makes an unfortunate touch, and that's just going to float into their own goal. 4-2 for the Bears now. Just an absolutely devastating touch there. Hits just the right part of the car, and it floats dangerously into their own net.
Hard to watch. But we've all been there, and it happens. With 90 seconds on the clock, there's enough time for the Parrots to get those tying goals. Here's a backboard. Candy clearing it away. Candy looking to set a play up. Getting by a couple defenders. The Parrots up now. It's Bones taking a shot. Great stop by Zach, who read it off the back wall perfectly. Zach corralling now. Heading up the side wall. Half a tank of boost. Couldn't get a pinch, so it's Debt Distributor taking over. Mutual Jacket waiting. Here's the pass out front. Mutual Jacket finds the goalpost and knocked in by Debt Distributor with a great positioning, sitting waiting.
Yeah, good touch there by Bones, trying to, patiently stopping to not drive the ball into their net. Unfortunate that all the momentum from the Bears was driving that ball to the net. Really, unfortunately the goal goes in, but that's a really smart play there by Bones to not drive that into the net themselves. So Zach now pushing it forward off the back wall, pass to Debt Distributor, and this Bear team has sort of come out of hibernation during the last part of this game, as it's 6-2 now in this third match.
Here's the kickoff. 51 seconds. Zach pushing through. And it's Mutual Jacket with an opportunity. Debt Distributor chipping off the side wall in the corner. Stopped by Rocket. Coming up to the 30-second mark on this one, and the Parrots are running out of time if they haven't already.
Yeah, the onslaught here by the Bears, the pressure that they can apply while not allowing shots on their own goal has been pretty impressive thus far. As we've seen, we watched the Parrots play last match in the quarterfinals. They're a really great team. So to be able to stymie that attack that Candy, Bones, and Rocket have, well played to the Bears, as their defense was kind of the decider of this one, just able to keep the ball out of their own net. And that's how this one's going to end, as the Bears take this one 6-2 in our first semifinals match.
A great effort by the Parrots, who will not be advancing to the grand finals, but the Bears on their way now. And they're going to wait and see what happens in the next matchup, which is where we're heading next. We should be able to take a look at the bracket now and see exactly what we're dealing with. So the VGMS Bears moving forward to the grand finals. Our next matchup, the EDS Red Dragons versus the Celtics. We'll be getting into that match any minute now. We'll take a quick standby as we update all of our graphics and such here. So take a moment, stretch your legs, grab your favorite snack. We'll be back with you in just a few moments for the second semi-final match between the EDS Red Dragons and the Celtics.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Our home to snow-covered mountains, sprawling farmlands, and iconic animals. Our land is vast, breathtaking, and cherished. Whether on the land, in the skies, or in the stars, we've made quite a name for ourselves. We pride ourselves on our kindness, our music, and we all remember where we were when Crosby scored. We embrace culture, diversity, and our Indigenous heritage.
We are unapologetically Canadian. We are Canada.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our second semi-final here at the Scholastic National Esports Canada, where we have the St. Patrick's Community School Celtics taking on the École du Gall School Red Dragons. Got the Red Dragons in blue and the Celtics in orange. And we've got a best-of-5 series here of exciting Rocket League as T-Boy's going to send this one to midfield. No teammates with them, so they're going to have to continue on to the far wall where they're going to collect that boost, and it looks like they're going for a double flip reset, but the Red Dragons easily sweep that away as we got Dripbug trying to corral in there and get a nice block on that shot coming from, is it Radiant Storm? That's Radiant Storm, yeah. Dripbug making another save on Radiant Storm's shot. So T-Boy blocking one at midfield, but Red Dragons 2 up, gets a shot. Radiant Storm making a save. T-Boy gonna make a pass to Radiant Storm. They're not able to handle that one. A lot of pressure both sides as Radiant Storm has to make another save. Looks like Eric keeping this one in the attacking zone. So Dripbug now gonna put something back. Radiant Storm doesn't quite get the touch they're looking for, but it disrupts the attack nonetheless. So Dragons 2 gets another shot. Great save by Radiant Storm, who's been a defensive wizard thus far this match.
Seen some great plays from Storm. Coop trying to get out, get an attack going. Still on the defense here. Lots of boost in the tank, fortunately, as the Celtics are still defending. T-Boy going up the side wall. Coop sitting midfield waiting. Dragons 2 interrupts. Storm couldn't quite get there. And Coop cleared it away. Dragons 2 in the corner. Tried to set a teammate up. It's Coop who stops that attack. Midfield now. Coop collecting. Runs into Dripbug. Dripbug hits it to T-Boy. T-Boy gets a shot. It's over Dripbug. Dripbug able to tip it up just high of the net. A follow-up from Storm and a great save by Eric. So here's T-Boy. The attack doesn't stop. Over to Coop. Coop gets blocked just after getting the shot out. We're in the corner now as the Dragons are fighting to clear this thing away. A shot goes wide from the Celtics. Here's T-Boy with another great setup. It's down in front. T-Boy could not bop that one in. Here's Storm heading back into their own corner. Finding T-Boy, who's up high, using the back wall. A follow-up from Dragons 2. That stays wide. Coop's got an open net if they can make it happen. Slowly finds the back of the net.
Wow. And that's how this one's going to give us the first goal of the game. 1-0 for our Celtics team. What a high-paced match thus far. Shots and saves, high-flying action. Looking to be a really good semifinal thus far. We've only seen a few minutes. Here's Eric stopping that offensive attack by the Celtics. Able to get something into the attacking zone, but Radiant Storm's there to push it back towards the Red Dragons' end. T-Boy wisely missing 2 opponents, but pushes it a little too far, not able to get a pass to a teammate. As Coop was able to get one out, but it passed directly to Eric the Red as no teammates were with them in the attacking zone. And Eric the Red makes no mistake with a thunderous shot, and that ties this game back up at 1.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Eric got bumped by a teammate a little bit to get that extra momentum. That was a incredible shot all the way across the field. What a great tournament this has been so far as we're in match 1 between these two teams. Oh, and a shot tipped in.
Oh my goodness.
That happened quickly.
Wow. What a great read here by T-Boy. Just turning that vehicle as much as possible. Unfortunate for Eric, they weren't really able to do anything. They were just driving, putting it in their own net. So the Celtics taking their lead back as the Red Dragons get the better of that kickoff. T-Boy and Radiant Storm coming together to boom that one down into the attacking corner. Dripbug not able to corral, so T-Boy here sends a pass down to a teammate. Coop not able to get the shot on it as Dragon 2 able to play enough of a defense there to stop any onslaught. T-Boy not able to keep that one in the zone as they get bumped. There's Radiant Storm up for it. Eric gets the touch they need, gets that away, leaves it for Dripbug, who's demoed by Radiant Storm. So Coop now with a full tank of boost, able to put a shot on. 3 defenders to block that one. Radiant Storm can't get there in time as Dragon 2 clears that to midfield. T-Boy just sends that one up off the hood of the defender and now pushes the attack into the Red Dragon zone.
Great mechanics from the Celtics. This one's going to find the back of the net as the Dragons are able to chip this one in. Ball just kind of knocked all the way to midfield by Eric the Red. Missed by the defense, and Dripbug there to redirect it into the net.
Hey, we take the easy ones and we take the hard ones because it all counts the same on the scoreboard. We're back tied at 2. Eric the Red's going to scoop this one up off the stalemate kickoff. Coop able to get enough on it so that T-Boy can clear it past the midfield line. Dragons 2 not able to get there before T-Boy, who sends a pass out to Coop. Blocked there by Eric, who now gets a nice ground pinch at midfield to send this one towards the net. No teammates coming with them. And we might be headed to overtime again, Nate, for the 4th time in this tournament.
Looks like it. There's the buzzer. This is going to be next point wins. Game 1 on a best-of-5 series between these two. Dripbug has an opportunity, kind of overdrives it. Eric shows up, finds the side wall. Coop clears it away. Dragons 2 sends it up high. This is dangerous. And Storm, recognizing the trouble, hits into the corner. So there's Storm over to T-Boy. T-Boy up. Couldn't quite find the net here. Storm following up, chipped away by Dragons 2. Coop tried to get a corner shot. It's gone all the way back into the Celtics end. An important demo, T-Boy on Eric. Here's Dripbug looking to set something up. It stays wide. And T-Boy's going to deal with it. Dragons 2 sends it back. It finds the edge, pops up. Eric hits into the corner. Dripbug now following up. Passed out to Eric again. Eric finds the backboard. Celtics are scrambling. Here's Dragons 2 with a pinch in. And this one's going to the Red Dragons.
What a read here by Dragons 2. Just able to take that off the hood of T-Boy. And a smashing shot to take that first game. Well played. We're going to play one more on this server and then switch over. So after our next match, we'll have to take a quick little standby just to switch. But for right now, we're going to be heading into our second game as the Red Dragons are up 1-0 in this second semifinal. And with that said, I'll take a minute and talk about that EDS Red Dragon team. They compete from just outside of Winnipeg, rural area in Manitoba. Their esport program serves roughly 60 middle year students. And the lab that they have there lets the students compete together, and they also learn the basics of broadcasting. So between the grades of 6 and 8, they get a little pre-broadcasting course there at their school while they also get to compete in some esports. So pretty nice program they've got going on over there at École Dugal in Manitoba. So T-Boy not able to continue that attack as Dragon trying to put something on net, just clears it wide for the attacking team. But Dripbug able to come in as two defenders are kind of locked with each other in the corner as Radiant Storm and T-Boy bump into one another, leaving the net wide open. And the Red Dragons are going to take, well, 1-0 lead early on in this second game here, Nate.
A heck of a collision there. Quite unfortunate, but it does happen, especially in ball cam mode. You're looking the other way and counting on your teammate to avoid the collision. Of course, that's not easy. T-Boy coming off the back wall. Here's a shot into the corner. Dripbug looking to deal with it. Dragons 2 defending the net. Coop wasn't able to make anything happen. Able to get a bump on Eric and kind of skipping over Dripbug. T-Boy covering a lot of ground here in the attack zone. Just missing an opportunity there, as is Eric. As Coop bringing things back around. It's in front of the net. 2 defenders clearing it away, but T-Boy gets a shot. What a save by Eric. Had to happen. Now Eric on the attack. Runs into 2 defenders of the Celtics. So we're back into the Dragons' end. Here's a shot off the backboard. Chipped up high. Eric the Red with a great demo and clear. That was a must-save. Keeping the 1-goal lead alive as we hit the 3.5-minute mark. There it is. Eric the Red reading the moment and bringing it up to 2-0.
Yeah, good pass here by Dripbug. Gets it underneath Coop, who maybe jumped a little too soon and slammed into the ground. But a good heads-up play by Dripbug in the corner, allowing this one to be a 2-0 game. Radiant Storm's going to get the better of that kickoff, and Eric misplays it off the sidewall. Gets a ground pinch. T-Boy's there. Doesn't quite get the shot they're looking for as they rolled sideways into that one. Coop going to send this one towards the front of the net. Eric going to wisely corral that one back to midfield. Radiant Storm now looking to get a nice little pinch to a teammate. Unfortunately runs into T-Boy, and that attack's going to have to circle back so they can get boost and regather. T-Boy leaves it for Coop. Eric's there, able to get a nice little touch on it. Radiant Storm blocks it. Drip hits off 2 posts, a 3rd post, and saved by T-Boy. Oh my goodness, hit all 4 posts there if you count the ground. And keeping this one a 2-0 game as T-Boy tries to chip one out into the corner. Eric sends this one down into the attacking zone. Dragon 2 trying to get a touch on it. T-Boy's there. Gonna send this one to midfield. Pops it up. Eric trying to pass over to Dragon 2. Not able to get there as they overcommit on that side. So Coop now midfield trying to play a little defense and let a teammate come with them to start their attack. As Dripbug just kind of touches one into the attacking zone. Looks like the Red Dragons are kind of playing a little farther back now, which might not be able to keep the pressure on, as this Celtics team likes to put some shots on net.
Coop shot a little bit wide. Second shot wide. Bringing it back is T-Boy. It's out front. Here's Storm. What a save by EDS Dragons 2. Coop not done yet with the attack. Coop's up high. Loses control. Dragons 2 chipping it back to midfield. Here's Storm. All the way over to T-Boy. Finds it midair. Redirects. It's wide. Eric tries to get a stop. Couple defenders here. This is awkward. And what a close play it was. Great defense by the Dragons. Unfortunately, not enough with all of these shots coming in.
Yeah, I don't know if there was anything that the Red Dragons are going to be able to do there. That ball behind them near the goal line. Tough to get there in time when you've got 3 players crashing down on you. So the Celtics get on the board. 1.5 minutes left. We've seen teams score in a few seconds already this tournament, so definitely not out of the question of this is the comeback. Eric wisely leaving that one, kind of playing a little fake there as it bounces under a defender. And from his own corner, he's going to retake that 2-goal lead.
That's a really tough one. Sorry, Andy, really tough to deal with. Like, they're looking, expecting that second touch as there's an attacker mid-air, and the attacker recognizing that doing nothing that ball would still find its way in. So kind of a big-brained fake, if you ask me. Another bouncing ball, this time from the Celtics. Here's T-Boy heading up top. Lots of boost in the tank. Finds the backboard, nothing else. Here's the teammate, a little bit late to the party. Shot goes wide. Second shot followed up, finds the backboard only. Celtics keeping the attack going at midfield is T-Boy over to Coop, who's getting a nice shot here. Gets by one defender. Doesn't turn into much. Radiant Storm now. Gets a demo in the corner. The setup doesn't get completed, so we're still in the corner. Dripbug grabbing possession. Over to Eric. Eric getting past the midfield line. And T-Boy on the defense, grabbing a full tank of boost. Side wall. Knocking Dripbug out of the way. Over to the teammate. It was Coop who couldn't make it happen. Third follow-up off the goalpost and in is Radiant Storm. It's a one-goal game.
Yeah, perfect shot there by Radiant Storm, where no teammate can block it and no defender can get up there to make the save. Top corner, beautifully done. Great pass there. And that's going to bring it back to a one-goal game. 19 seconds, doable. They get it back to a tie game. And it's anyone's question in overtime of who's going to come away. Two pretty good, evenly matched teams here thus far. Radiant Storm not able to get that one past Eric. So now Radiant Storm going to have to try and boom this one to a teammate and stop it from touching the ground. But Eric going to go for the demo that allows that ball to touch. So the Red Dragons are going to take the second game. This is also a best-of-5 series. So the Celtics are going to have to come back and win the next one if we want to continue this series. We're going to have to take just a quick little standby so we can switch servers. And we'll be back with Game 3 between the Red Dragons and Celtics just momentarily.
No! ¿Por qué? And Lotus 8 will take game number 1. A ver, venga, Christian. Reset. Un segundo. Ay, qué pena. This ball is dropping down. Bang! Way Wellis was looking for the bump, but can't. Oh! Hold on. Wait a minute.
Looking for the double.
Oh my.
Bang! No, yes! What?
Oh my goodness, that nearly stayed out. What?
I thought they saved that. Over to Eris. 1v1.
Has to be a goal. What a save. Wow.
What a save. What a save, man.
We're off to overtime in game 5, ladies and gentlemen.
My eyes are glued to the Lotus 8 game.
Come on, Ren. Come on, Ren. Come on, Ren. Oh, I thought that was it.
No. J-Naps! He's not done. He says not yet.
Hold on, Xander wins this. Wellis, come on, Wellis. Oh, can't find the bump.
J-Naps!
He plays another series.
Done in game 5.
All right, here we go for semifinal number 2, game number 3. Must win for the Celtics team. And let me tell you a little about this Celtics team. They are our defending champs from last year. St. Patrick's Community School only started doing esports 2.5 years ago as just a club. You know, variety of systems they had. The NES or Nintendo Entertainment System, as some of you older folks might know. PS3 was the newest console they had. Since then, they now have a Rocket League team as they won the Under 15 last year championship. They also have a Smash team, and they've got players from grades 6 to 8 that are playing. And they have 2 esport option classes at their school, which is actually really exciting to see. And as I say that, Radiant Storm makes it 1-0 for the Celtics. They know they must win, and they're coming out blazing. As Coop is going to send this one up to Radiant Storm, who leaves it for a teammate, but Dragons too. Going to just wisely stop that one at the midfield line as Eric goes for a shot. Saved by T-Boy. Clutch possession there as Dripbug comes in. Radiant Storm, not credited with a save, but that came off. That was going to come off the crossbar down to another Red Dragons member. As Dragons 2 going to try and send this over. No teammate with them. So Dripbug just going to wisely send it into the corner that gets over Radiant. And T-Boy accidentally backing into that one, meaning Coop's got to play it a little differently than they were hoping. Coop sends it in off the back of Eric, gets a bounce out front. T-Boy not able to beat Dragons 2 to this ball. So now we've got kind of a stalemate at the midfield area, just back and forth possession as this Red Dragons team looking to even the score.
A must-win situation for the Celtics. T-Boy over the center line to Coop. Coop working through the corner, running into a couple defenders. A demo from Eric is going to send the ball all the way back. As the Celtics regroup, here's Radiant Storm trying to get over the center line. This is dangerous. Going to bounce down, straight up and down, awkwardly bouncing in front of the Red Dragons end. And a great defensive bump, keeping the attack from coming in. But Coop following up. 2-goal lead for the Celtics, exactly where they want to be in this must-win game.
Yeah, perfect bump here by T-Boy. You just barely see it in the replay cam. T-Boy bumping Eric out of the way, allowing Coop to put that one in to take a 2-goal lead here in the must-win Game 3 for this Celtics team. Eric gets a nice touch off that back wall. Dragons not able to get enough on it. So here come the Celtics once again. Coop with a good corner read out front. Puts a shot on net. Eric having to make a save. Radiant Storm not able to get that pass from the midfield. So we're just kind of stuck in midfield, pass back and forth to each team. It's kind of been the only way teams have scored against each other here in this series. It's just a little mistake. Great control here by both teams in the midfield area, just possession to possession, shot to save. And as I say that, Radiant Storm up off the backboard trying to get a shot. Eric's going to clear that one away. Coop stealing that one from Eric off the sidewall. T-Boy trying to get a pass out, doesn't quite get the angle, so Coop's going to send it back to T-Boy, who puts a shot on. Eric has to play some defense up off that top corner. And now here comes Dragon trying to get something going for the Red Dragons team.
Finding the back wall, chipped away by Radiant Storm, followed by T-Boy all the way down. T-Boy shot on, it's slow, just cleared away. Eric and a friend able to kind of keep that thing and get it back to midfield. Dripbug running into Radiant Storm. Dripbug now in the corner. And couldn't beat the defense to it, so we're back now in the Red Dragons' end as Eric misses an opportunity to get possession. Here's an attack from Coop. That's gone wide. Dragons 2 following up. Gets it around the corner and sort of throws T-Boy off. Battling at midfield now. Here's Coop. Up on the side wall. Enough boost in the tank. And that gets hung up in the corner as Eric and Coop are fighting. It's chipped out to T-Boy, who's going up. Finds the backboard. Is there a teammate? There's not. At midfield, Dripbug runs into Radiant Storm, so we're no further ahead here. 40 seconds on the clock. 2-goal lead for the Celtics. Must-win game for the Celtics. Here's Storm. Loses possession on the back wall. The Dragons defending furiously. 30-second mark. Here's Eric bumping T-Boy. Eric through the corner. The Dragons getting very aggressive here. T-Boy now pushing an attack through the corner, losing possession, so it's hung up in the corner as the Dragons clear it away.
Yeah, the Celtics now just need to hold on and not give up 2 goals here in the dying seconds. And they should be taking this one. Must win. Couple seconds left on the clock. Coop tries to put another shot on, and that's how this one's going to end. 2-0 for the Celtics as they come back from 2-0 deficit to bring it back to 2-1. But they're going into another must-win game if they're looking to do the reverse sweep against the Red Dragons.
That'd be fun to see.
Yeah, we haven't seen it too much in these tournaments that we've been broadcasting for the OSEA or Esports Canada. We haven't seen a reverse sweep yet. We've seen some pretty great comebacks. Couple Rule 1s, no team Rule 1s yet. Lots of overtimes. But the Red Dragons looking to come back from that shutout in this next Game 4.
And the Dragons taking a minute now, taking their time to ready up and maybe having a little bit of a breather. I've never seen a timeout being taken, but essentially every team entitled to dragging their feet while readying up. So they're now joining the pitch, getting ready to
It's a smart
go.
play, honestly.
It is.
You know, take that second, kind of maybe stop the momentum. This is a smart play by the Red Dragons.
Kick off
Radiant
now.
Storm and
Oh, go. It's Coop here. Down to T-Boy. As EDS Dragons 2 clears it away. Running into trouble, though. A team pinch from the Dragons heads all the way down. Radiant Storm collecting. Kind of bumped by maybe, I don't know who, maybe Coop there. Slow roller. Eric's going to deal with it. Heading to the midfield line. He gets by Coop. Eric wants to get through the corner here, losing possession. And now we're back at midfield. Drip Bug trying to chip it in. No Dragons to push this thing forward, so it's going to get cleared away. Here's T-Boy on the sidewall. It's over the midfield line. Coop looking to continue the attack. It's in the midfield range in front of the net. Must save by Dragons 2. Big clear that stays wide. Radiant Storm now heading in, using all the boost they've got. Great chip away there by the Dragons, keeping that from getting targeted towards their net. Midfield is Coop now. Long shot. It would stay wide, but still defended by the Dragons. Drip Bug and T-Boy fighting with each other on the sidewall. And Drip Bug getting a bump, keeping the next attacker from moving forward. Here's a chip from Dragons 2, stopped by Coop. Back at midfield, Drip Bug off the sidewall. Celtics are going to collect it, and they're fighting for possession at midfield at the 3:30 mark of the game.
Coop going to get a soft touch over top of Eric. Can't get there in time to put something on net, but causing some havoc in the attacking corner. T-Boy getting bumped around there by Drip Bug. Eric's going to be able to put something out front. Coop not able to corral it. So Dragons 2 going to tuck this one in right at the bottom right corner. And they're going to take the first goal of this game. Remember, this is Game 4. The Red Dragons are up 2-1 in the series. So if they win, they're going to be taking on the VGMS Bears in our grand final. And as I say that, Coop makes a great play off the kickoff and ties this at 1.
Great soft touch here, Coop. Pulling back, getting kind of a flat hit rather than using the edge of the car, which would probably get a lot more momentum that close to the net. So a beautiful touch by Coop there. Game's tied, 3 minutes to go. Another must win for the Celtics. And if the Bears win, they're going to the grand finals. So the pressure is on. The hands are sweaty. Here's a block by Eric the Red. 3 Dragons getting in the way of that one as they regroup. Try to get an attack formulated, digging out of their own end. Radiant Storm unable to work the corner here. They're heading back with a full tank of boost. Coop off the back wall. Chipping all the way out to midfield. T-Boy able to touch it. It's redirected at the net. A must save. Eric and Drip Bug crossing paths. It's Drip Bug who gets the clear. And then Eric following up. Hits one out to midfield. Eric unable to push that thing over the line with much momentum, but slowly bouncing at the net. What a save by T-Boy. Not sure if it registered, but that was a save. As now the Celtics are frantically working to get out of the defensive position. Great attack by the Red Dragons. Here's one at midfield. Red Dragons 2 chipping it in. Storm stops it. Heading back to midfield is Eric. It's slowly bouncing high as the Celtics take possession.
Drip Bug missing that one, but Dragons 2 going to be able to corral it. Gets around to defender. Can't get past Coop. But Eric's there to keep pressing this forward. Gets it to the midfield. Coop's going to clear that away as no Dragon teams or team members were there with them. Dragons 2 can't get past T-Boy, who keeps it in the attacking zone. T-Boy going to flip this to themselves. 2 defenders there to stop that shot from getting towards the net. Dragons 2 going to pop this one up. Coop can't quite get the touch they were looking for. So this one's gets sent back to the corner where T-Boy runs into Eric. But Radiant Storm going to keep the pressure on. A lot of back and forth here in this middle part of this game. Still tied at 1. Celtics in another must-win. T-Boy gets a pass out. Radiant Storm not able to get there in time. They do get the demo on Eric. So Coop now going to send this one down. Can Dragons 2 get up in time? They get the touch so that T-Boy can't get the shot towards the net. T-Boy's going to leave that one for Eric. Wisely plays some defense at the midfield line. Drip Bug, though, tired of having that one in their end, sends it down a little deeper. Eric gets the bicycle kick all the way down. Red Dragons puts a shot up. T-Boy unfortunately stops. Can't keep their momentum to get to that ball in time. And the Red Dragons are going to take a 2-1 lead with just under 30 seconds to play.
So T-Boy using some great mechanics. Quickly pivoting to react and stay in front of the ball. Keeping attack zone time going. 20 seconds on the clock. The Celtics feeling the pressure here. There's Eric chipping away. It's blocked. Celtics going to pour everything they've got now with 10 seconds just about on the clock. So Storm with T-Boy. It's going around the corner. This might be the last chance here. Cleared all the way across, and that's not going to help. As the ball touches, and the Red Dragons take the third game and the series, moving on to the grand finals. What an exciting matchup that was as the Celtics run in this tournament comes to an end, Andy.
Yeah, the Red Dragons are going to be taking on the VGMS Bears in our grand final. So we say goodbye to our defending champs. Well played. But we're going to take a quick little standby here and get ourselves ready for the grand finals between the VGMS Bears and the EDS Red Dragons.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Our home to snow-covered mountains, sprawling farmlands, and iconic animals. Our land is vast, breathtaking, and cherished. Whether on the land, in the skies, or in the stars, we've made quite a name for ourselves. We pride ourselves on our kindness, our music, and we all remember where we were when Crosby scored. We embrace culture, diversity, and our Indigenous heritage. We are unapologetically Canadian. We are Canada.
Here we are at Champions Field, Game 1 of the Grand Finals between the Bears and the EDS Red Dragons. Best of 7 series. This is for all the marbles. Zach up high against the ceiling, leaving it for Jacket. Mutual Jacket tries to get something out to a teammate. It's over Dent Distributor. Zach follows up off the backboard, heading up for a double touch. Hits the backboard again. And cleared away to midfield. Jacket there to keep the attack going. Runs into one of the Dragons. Here's a long opportunity. What a play by Zach. Check this one out, Andy.
Wow. From the side wall after they touch, pass to themselves, emptying the boost tank, the very last bit of momentum, tucks that one in. What an incredible start to this Grand Finals. So that guy named Zach doing it again. Eric not able to get that one away. Relying on some teammates to try and get this out of the danger zone as Red Dragon and Zach able to bring this one, or sorry, Red Dragon and Eric able to get that one back into the attacking zone. Here's Eric now playing a little defense, trying to pop this up to a teammate as Dripbug now going to bring this one into the attacking zone. And Dragons 2 coming back with the answer. Perfectly placed shot. Watch the patience on this one. And we got a tie game.
A quick answer just over 1 minute into the game, so that might be the pacing of this series. No breaks for server changes, so we're going straight to the end here in this series. No breaks. There's Zach. Doesn't get the clear they're looking for. Tries to clean it up. This is dangerous. And yeah, that kind of just went from bad to worse as the Dragons are able to chip this one in. Can't make a mistake like that.
Yeah, an unfortunate touch there off the ground. And EDS Dragons 2 is going to eat that up and not miss too many wide open nets there. 2-1, plenty of time left in this first game here. Kind of a feeling out process. Although maybe not, as both of these teams happen to be playing in the exact same room against each other. So pretty exciting little fact there. I'm sure they've played against each other, so maybe this is just a common practice between these two teams.
Well, Andy, everybody eating out of the same box of Timbits today by the sounds of it. Here's Jacket finding the back wall, double touch. Just missing. Almost off the upper goalpost and in. And cleared away into the corner as the Bears trying to send a teammate up. And a great touch by Zach midair. Here's Zach again. What a save by Eric. Cleared away to the side. This is getting scary. From midfield is Eric. Stopped by Jacket. Mutual Jacket getting a demo. The ball slowly bouncing towards the net. And not quick enough as Debt Distributor wasn't able to get there and jam that thing in. So we're hitting the halfway mark. Here's a backboard shot from Drip. And cleared wide and away. Jacket over the midfield line. Hit into the corner. Eric's going to head up. Try to deal with it. Looking for a big clear. And straight back to Zach. And almost finds the net. Cleared away by Eric. It was an incredible save from that angle. Things are happening quickly here. Ball goes up and high over the Dragons' net. No Dragon there to collect. Jacket looking for another play. Shot stays wide. Dragons 2 clearing it to the corner. Jacket leaving it for Debt Distributor, who's chipped it into the midfield. Zach's up. Shot stays wide. Looking for a second touch to redirect. That doesn't happen. As now the Red Dragons looking to clear and take possession at midfield.
Mutual Dragon going up against two defenders there and keeping that ball planted at midfield. As Dripbug not able to get there in time, Mutual Dragon going to send it back down, but Eric follows it up with a booming clear from the defensive zone. But that guy named Zach going to get a double touch on this ball, just enough to direct it in front of the other defender. Dripbug goes up, thinks they've got a shot. Quick little touch by that guy named Zach. And we've got ourselves a tie game with 1:35 left.
Absolutely beautiful play there by Zach, who using their boost and redirecting to change the momentum just enough, throwing the goaltender off. So it's 2-2, just under 90 seconds left. Game 1, best of 7, grand finals of the eSport Canada Scholastic National 2025. It's been a great afternoon so far. This is dangerous as EDS Dragons 2 sees the opportunity. We're watching here as there's a clear, and it just perfectly bounced out. It looked like it was going to go wide, but it rolled out and created the shot opportunity.
Yeah, we've seen EDS Dragons 2 be very opportunistic earlier in this game. With a wide open net, they're not going to miss that one. As that guy named Zach just sends that one slightly wide of the outside post. Mutual Jacket, not enough boost to corral that one. Zach circled back, trying to get a shot. Not blocked, swept away by Dripbug. Debt Distributor not able to beat the post. So Mutual Jacket going to pinch this one at midfield. Goes up, can't beat the crossbar either. No teammates to keep the pressure on. So Debt Distributor kind of on their own. As our Red Dragons team has the lead with 30 seconds left in this first game here in the grand finals of our Scholastics National with Esports Canada. Eric gets a shot from their end. Guy named Zach able to get there in time, make a nice save to keep this one a one-goal game. Zach trying to get a pass out to a teammate, and Mutual Jacket's there, but just can't get up in time. Debt not able to put that shot on net. It bounced off of the crossbar. Eric's going to send this one down and hope that it just touches the ground. And that's how this first match is going to end. Red Dragons taking it. Some dire moments there at the end where it could have been a tie game, but Red Dragons hang on. and take the first game of best of 7, 3-2.
What an exciting series already. Game 1, really fast-paced. I'm seeing some of the players there, over 600 points. A lot of shot opportunities, a lot of great saves. And that was game 1 of a best of 7, so a lot still to come between these two teams. In the grand finals of the Scholastic National 2025. Teams taking the pitch for game number 2. Here's the kickoff. And Zach sort of losing possession there. It goes back into their own corner. Jacket trying to deal with it. Dragons are already here setting up a play. Here's Eric heading up, looking to backboard, looking for a second touch. Good positioning there. Doesn't get a shot, but able to clear a defender away as the ball kind of heads into the corner. So no, this is going to slowly roll in. Drip just missing this one. As the Bears take an early lead now.
Yeah, Drip just choosing the wrong way to turn. But like you said earlier, with having ball came on, sometimes the controls are inverted and you just go the wrong way. Kind of a gift there for the Bears team, as the Red Dragons are going to look to bounce back from that one. There's that guy named Zach, puts a nice touch off the backboard. Very smartly swept away there by the Red Dragons team. So now Mutual Jacket going to send it down. A couple defenders just waiting on the back wall for that ball, as the Red Dragons kind of playing some defense now, as the Bears are really putting some pressure on in the early stages of this second match.
There's a
Drip bug. Sorry.
A little dangerous play there. That's bounced. Dent Distributor able to get up and clear it away. So here's a shot from Drip Bug. It's gone sideways. In the corner is Eric chipping up, looking for a teammate. It's ready. It's teed up, but it's cleared away by Zach. EDS Dragons keeping that one from heading towards the net, but the second shot, unable to stop it. Great play by Zach here, moving forward and being ready to strike.
Yeah, you can see the patience as they're waiting to see what Red Dragons 2, or sorry, EDS Dragons 2 is going to do on the side or the back wall there. And they make no mistake by putting that one in, giving their team a 2-0 lead. So that guy named Zach, not able to get the touch they wanted there, but it's a good pass out to Debt Distributor, who wasn't able to get enough. Mutual Jacket there coming through, not able to put it on line. So now Drip Bug in the attacking zone, having some trouble with Debt Distributor, and Mutual Jacket coming through, playing good defense. As Drip Bug now looking to chip it over a defender, sent into the corner, where Drip Bug also gets it. As a nice pass out to Eric, who bounces it under a defender, and they get this game to within 1.
Yeah, really hard hit off the backboard, so Jacket kind of stuck in place there, watching things happen around them. Really tough place to be as a goaltender when the ball's hit with that much momentum. There's just nothing you can do. Mutual Jacket now from the midfield off the backboard, grabbing the corner boost. That's going to restrict the Red Dragons from filling their tanks up. That guy, Zach, heading over the midfield lines. 1v1, Jacket in pursuit. Can the pass get out? It doesn't. Eric's going to try to get in the way. The pass is getting out. Here's Jacket. What a touch, getting around to the outside up against the goalpost. 3-1 for the Bears.
Yeah, it's just sound patience and good instincts there by Mutual Jacket to read that play and get their 2-goal lead back. Mutual Jacket still trying to push the play forward. That guy named Zach going to take that pass off the side wall at midfield and makes no mistake. Puts that one right up into the top corner. Gives that team a 3-goal lead as our Bears up 4-1 over the Red Dragons.
Yeah, quite an answer back. Red Dragons taking game 1. The Bears now in the first half of the game going up 3-goal lead. And the Dragons sort of scrambling right now in their own end. So they need to regroup, get collected, because the Bears are looking very much in sync. So here's Eric slowing things down a bit, looking for EDS Dragons 2. Nothing happening there. Jacket sending one through the corner almost successfully. Dragons 2 once again grabbing possession. Now their turn, trying the corner here in the Bears' end. And that's chipped away by Zach, who's on the sidewall, getting by 2 defenders. It's a 2v1. The touch doesn't make it through. Eric able to keep it away from the net. But a pinch off the sidewall. And a follow-up by 2 of the Bears. Zach able to find the back of the net. So look at the Bears cycling perfectly here.
Yeah, it's a nice pass by Debt Distributor, who gets a defender out of the way. And Zach puts that exactly where Dragon 2 just can't get to it, on the far side of the post. 5-1 game now, just over a minute and a half to play. The Bears looking to take this first game. Eric just missing, just off the outside of the post. And here's Zach now trying to flip one up. Dragons 2 gets a beautiful save to keep this one a 4-goal game. Dragons corrals that one as a nice little drop pass to Dripbug, who gets a good bounce out, but Mutual Jacket is just going to send that one back into the corner. We're back in midfield as Debt Distributor gets an incredible ground pinch off an opponent. Easily swept aside by Dragon 2. But Debt Distributor coming in again, scooping it up, playing the bug, as it were, not making it easy for this Red Dragons team to get the ball out. And we've got a 5-goal game now.
It's my turn to bite my tongue there. Just what an incredible offensive play it was. The Bears have tightened up, and they are playing incredibly well. Not that they haven't been, but I mean, just about any team is going to struggle to defend when teams are passing and finding the opportunities. You know, the Dragons are doing a great job playing defense on those attacks, and yet the Bears are finding the gaps, and the passing has just been incredible. So here's a chip away, Red Dragons 2, 30 seconds left. The Dragons will not be taking this game with only 30 seconds left in a 5-goal deficit. But this will tie the series nonetheless at 1-1. Grand Finals. The eSport Canada Scholastic Nationals 2025. What a great afternoon of Rocket League it's been so far. Thanks to players like this putting a show on for us. Zach clearing one away. Reversing now. Okay, changing pace a little bit. I think everyone knows that we're moving on to game number 3. What an incredible match that was. So the Red Dragons may want to drag their feet on that ready up button here. Take a minute to regroup, because that sort of pressure from any team is very difficult to deal with. That guy named Zach, 829 points in that last match, 6 shots, 4 of them being goals. And just an incredible onslaught. Great cycling by the Bears. So each team with 1 game so far could go either direction from here. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to eSport Canada Scholastic Nationals. Thank you for supporting Scholastic esports in Canada. You could show your support by following eSport Canada on various social media. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, this is the Ontario School Esport Association's YouTube channel, where we broadcast every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right now, the spring season taking place. This Wednesday will be our final week, Game 5, and the Ontario School Esports Association's finals happening in early May. So thanks again for being with us, and make sure to show your support by clicking like, subscribe, follow, whatever button you're looking at. We do appreciate your support. Heading into Game 3 now of the Grand Finals. Players on the pitch. The Bears in blue, Red Dragons in orange, 1 game apiece. Here's Dripbug working the side wall. Opportunity for a shot taken away by Mutual Jacket. Dragons 2 finds the backboard. Teammate there. What a beautiful play as the Red Dragons answer back quickly in Game 3.
Yeah, watch this. Dragons 2 sends the pass, circles back so they can get on defense, so Eric can come up and put that shot on. Perfectly designed play. expertly executed. And they've got their first goal of this game just 11 seconds in. And we saw that in the last match, or sorry, the last game that the Bears won. So maybe that little time that they took here to regroup and recalibrate paying off early for the Red Dragons team. As a guy named Zach trying to put something in front of the net. Tough angle. So Eric's just going to ride this one to the midfield line as Dragons 2 is now going to send it into the corner. Guy named Zach looking for the ground pinch. Gets a pass out to midfield. No teammates with them. So they're looking to carry on as Debt Distributor able to keep the pressure going. Dragon 2 not able to get past Zach. So the ball now staying in the Red Dragons' end for a bit of time. As we continue the feeling out process in this early stages. And as I say that, Debt Distributor evens that up with a wide open shot from the, what do you call that, the quarter line?
The offside line, maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Great setup from Zach. Debt Distributor making their presence known. They were didn't see them so much in the last game, but that goal really made a difference as the game's tied now, just over a minute in. Here's Debt Distributor again with another shot. Saved by Dragons 2. You often see Debt Distributor following up with a bump. I think that's such a great play that when we see Debt Distributor either taking a shot or doing a setup through the corner, they're following through and bumping the goaltender out of the way. I think that's such a strong play because it creates an opportunity for the next attacker to shoot at an open net. Here's Mutual Jacket running into some trouble, kind of colliding with Eric in the corner. Here's Debt Distributor over the center line, knocked back by Eric. In the corner of the Bears, chipped high and wide out to center. Zach's going to have to bail on that one. As EDS Dragons 2 keeps the attack going. 2 of the Dragons working the corner and 2 of the Bears in the net stopping that one. So just kind of going from midfield straight to the net and back either direction right now. As Mutual Jacket slows things down in the corner, tries to get by Eric, does so with Elba Zach. Here's a chance for an opportunity. Great pinch out. Unfortunately, the pinch coming from a defender and creating an opportunity here for Zach.
Yeah, just an unfortunate touch there by Dragon 2. Not able to get enough on that to boom it across the mouth of the goal, excuse me. And Zach not going to miss an open shot like that. Dripbug leaving that one for Eric, who gets blocked by a defender. Dripbug trying to get the better of Debt Distributor, but they stick with it and able to send this one across over to Zach, who beats all 3 defenders but runs out of boost, not able to continue the attack. So Dripbug just going to corral this one up down the sidewall. Mutual Jacket swoops in, takes that possession away. Debt Distributor getting hassled by Eric on the sidewall. So Dragons able to beat a couple defenders. Unfortunately, flips the wrong direction, has no boost. So Eric's going to have to bring this one out to midfield themselves without much speed, and that allows Zach to pick that up. Kind of is just like a free possession off the touch from their teammate. Over 2 defenders, far side of the net, nobody able to get there. 2-goal game.
Yeah, twice there on the defense. The Bears just got a hair in front of the Dragons, creating the pinch and then the shots. So the Bears up 2, almost at a Rule 1 there. I think it might have been a team Rule 1. Not sure what happened. Here's a shot. It's going to go wide. Follow-up from... is it Zach? Follow-up from Zach. Making things happen. I don't know. I saw Debt Distributor in the play here, but no, it was Zach. So great follow-up, and the Bears the Dragons kind of all over the place on that one.
Yeah, the stoppage there between matches seemed to really turn the tides between the last match and in the first match, and now the Bears have seemingly figured it out. As they get another one in, Debt Distributor scoops this one from the corner, sends it out front. Not much that the defense can do here, as that one's pretty much going in. Dripbug trying to send it off the top of the crossbar and out. And it's 5-1 with just over a minute and a half left to play in this third game Oh, just wide off the kickoff. Deck Distributor up, but Eric sweeping that away. Zach and Dripbug. Dripbug getting the better of that exchange. As Eric gets bumped by Mutual Jacket. So Eric's going to have to play off the sidewall. Reads that pass shot from the corner perfectly to stop any sort of attack. Dripbug gets a wonderful clear, and it bounces off the top of Mutual Jacket, excuse me. We've got a 3-goal game. It's definitely not over, Nate.
No, you gotta keep fighting. So in a minute, could you see 3 goals? Yes. The Bears are not gonna let that happen under any circumstance, so you gotta force it. Here's a dangerous moment as two of the Dragons cross paths but don't make a connection on the defense. Ball heading way back into the Bears' end, so maybe an attack opportunity here. Dripbug kind of cruising by up high. Here's a pass out. What a great play as Dragons 2 sees the pass, chips it in.
Wow, still plenty of time and lots of fight left in this Red Dragons team. Great touch there by Eric, able to flip that one out to Dragons 2. And they make no mistake, bringing it back to a 2-goal game. So you're saying there's a chance, Nate?
Here's a wide shot off the side. A must save for Eric, who does so. Eric now moving the momentum back down the field. 30 seconds to go. Dragons looking for 2 goals, or else we're heading into the next game, which would be game 4. Eric chipping to the side wall. Needs a big hit. Doesn't get it. Drip. Clearing it, though. We're over midfield now. Eric's going to read this play. Couldn't get there before Jacket, but does get the demo. Dripbug from their own end. Running out of time are the Red Dragons as Zach puts the final nail in the coffin. 8 seconds to go and a 3-goal lead for the Bears. What a great match this has been.
Yeah, valiant effort by the Red Dragons trying to come back there. But the Bears just able to hold off long enough to keep this game in their favor. As Zach misses that touch, Dragons 2 up, runs out of boost, gets bumped, and that's how this one's going to end, with the ball touching the floor. The Bears taking this third match 2-1 for the Bears. But this, remember, is a best of 7. So we've got plenty more Rocket League coming to you from this Esport Canada Scholastic National Grand Final for the Under-15 division.
Yeah, you know, I hate to say it, but I do love a Game 7 overtime, so that's kind of what I'm rooting for. A little more stressful for the players, but as a viewer, there's really nothing better. So moving into Game 4, players are taking the pitch already. And the Bears applying enough pressure to keep the EDS Dragons at bay. But what a great battle it's been so far. Here comes game number 4. Kickoff. Eric, the Red, able to get the better of it. Dripbug following up. Chipped high and wide. So we're in the corner now. EDS Dragons 2 looking to collect. Gets through the corner. Zach's going to grab it and send it away. Keeping possession. What a great block by Eric. Unfortunately, no Dragon there to follow up on that. Here's Dripbug heading up. That stays wide into the corner. Eric, great setup, passed out in front, and you got to hand it to EDS Dragons being in the right place for that.
What a beautiful pass here by Eric. Just getting the perfect bounce off that back wall. Dragons 2 able to split 2 defenders. Not much you can do there if you're the Bears. That ball's moving so quick. What a goal. 1-0 for the Red Dragons early on in this game. Great save there by Debt Distributor. That guy named Zach making another save. And Dripbug with another shot for another save. This Bears team not going down easily. Eric's going to corral that one from in front of their own net. Zach not able to get to that one first as Dripbug clears it to midfield. Looking to get a pass down to a teammate. Debt Distributor instead getting the bump. So here's Zach. Only has Eric to beat. Not going to be able to get there as the boost tank runs dry. So Eric trying to get a pass over to Red Dragons. That one just gets bumped back into their own end. So the Red Dragons are going to have to regroup. as the pressure from the Bears is mounting. Debt Distributor trying to put a little floating shot on there. Eric deals with that one. Debt Distributor trying to pass over to Mutual Jacket. Gets blocked by themselves for the shot, but Zach able to go up and get the shot. No defenders able to get there in time. We've got ourselves a tie game, 1-1 with 3.5 to play.
What a standout performance it's been by Zach today. But yeah, again, Debt Distributor setting that play up, getting involved, getting in the mix, bumping players, creating the pass, which is where the opportunity comes from for Zach, who is pretty good at taking advantage of those moments. But you really have to hand it to Debt Distributor, who the scoreboard isn't always showing the impact that Debt Distributor has had on these games. And you see Zach up there making the plays happen, but what a team effort it's been. So it's 1-1, 3 minutes left on the clock. Here's Jacket up on the sidewall. Finds the back end. Drip Bug, great move to keep that ball out. Eric now taking over on the side wall. Half a tank of boost to go. Needs to get through to get out front. Looking for a teammate. Great bump here. That's dangerous. Just floats by in front of the net, but a great setup there by Eric. Here comes Zach now. Over one defender. Past the other. Third one comes in. It's Drip Bug trying to clear away. Debt Distributor with a great setup. Cleared away quickly by the Dragons. Here's a shot. It's pointed at the net. Zach able to stop it. Second shot by Drip. And it's a backboard pass to EDS Dragons 2. Mutual Jacket now in the corner. Letting that shot come out by Eric, hoping for a deflection, but it stayed in their own end. So here's Dragons 2 now, keeping the attack going. No teammate to help out. It's Zach who clears it, looking for a second touch. Beautiful play by Zach. 2-1 for the Bears.
Yeah, Zach kind of putting the Bears on their back right now. Coming in, Eric tries to get the save. Perfect angle there by Zach. Gets that one to tuck under the crossbar. 2-1. Been some incredible playing thus far. Some great touches, some near misses. And both these teams playing incredibly well defensively. For this to be such a low-scoring game with the wonderful opportunities we've seen at both ends of the pitch. As Zach now corrals that one to midfield, swept away by Dragons, who accidentally bumps their teammate Drip Bug. So they're going to have to go for a ground pinch, get it away from a defender. Zach comes in, looking to get a pass out to a teammate, gets a demo instead. Mutual Jacket's going to go for the bounce so that no defender can get there, and it's 3-1 for the Bears.
Yep. As the match progresses, you see the Bears dial in. Momentum going back and forth, sometimes favoring the Dragons at the top of each of these games, but as the match goes on, the Bears find their groove. So Dragons 2 with a demo on Zach, and Drip Bug with a demo on Jacket. Let's see if anything can happen from that. Debt Distributor chipping out front, goes way too wide. Zach couldn't get there. Zach trying to keep the play alive, but a great clear. Would have found the net if it wasn't for Mutual Jacket, who stopped that one. Drip Bug looking for a teammate. It's interrupted by Jacket. Eric, while demoed, able to get a wide, long shot. A must save by Debt Distributor, who does so. And Debt Distributor bumped away by Zach. Here's a slow floater, stays wide, fortunately for the Bears. As the Bears now pushing over the midfield line. Mutual Jacket running into some trouble. Here's Debt Distributor, the great shot. Saved as EDS Dragons 2 heads up with a teammate. Two goaltenders blocking that one. Here's Dragons 2 now, starting an attack. In the Bears' corner, it gets through by Mutual Jacket. Cleared by Zach. Bumped back in. And it's out at midfield as the teams are fighting for possession.
Mutual Jacket just going up, getting the ball into the Dragons' end. We've got 22 seconds left in this match. And the pressure from the Bears is just going to probably be enough here to seal this one, as the Red Dragons need 2 goals in the dying seconds of this match. Zach chips one. All 3 defenders there making that save. Red Dragons now has to keep this one in the air to have any hope. And unfortunately, this one's going to end with the Bears taking the victory. Even if one goes in here, the game will end even 3-2. Debt Distributor up, missing that one, but Mutual Jacket just going to send it down to the ground. That's how this one's going to end. The Bears taking it 3-1 and also take a 3-1 series lead as we head into a must-win match for the Red Dragons. They got to win out here if they have any hope of winning this grand finals.
Yeah, the Bears staring down a potential championship. So, Red Dragons taking a minute here, regrouping, coming up with a game plan. And I don't know what that is. Maybe you emphasize defense a little more and wait for the opportunities, or maybe you double down on the offense and see how that goes. There's not a lot of room. The way the Bears are playing, there's not a lot of opportunities. You got to take the ones that you can find. So 3 games for the Bears, 1 for the Red Dragons. This is a best of 7 grand finals as we head into game 5. Pretty exciting matchup so far, and a standout performance by all the players. But I'm keep noticing that guy named Zach making some pretty incredible plays and kind of responsible for a number of the points that have gone in. So players are taking the pitch here. Champions Field, game 5 starting. Must win if you're the Dragons in the championship. If the Bears take this win, here's the kickoff right at the net. That guy named Zach just booting the door open, Andy.
We've got fast goals, and then we've got that guy named Zach. 1 second into this match. Speed flipping. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think the kickoff is quite possibly the make or break in some matches, because if you can dial in a good kickoff strategy, you can easily take the lead early on, and it's kind of demoralizing to opponents if you can do it repeatedly. So here's Dripbug now, catching that at midfield, trying to put a little pressure on to get this one back into the defensive zone. But Eric the Red's going to sweep this one across the goal mouth. Dragons 2 now sends it down. That guy named Zach is there, able to send it back into the Dragons' end. Looking for a pass out to Debt Distributor, not able to get the shot on goal. Mutual Jacket's now going to pop one up. Debt Distributor not ready for that one. So Eric with a car change now in the Octane. So Mutual Jacket going to scoop that one up with a pass over to Debt Distributor, who just misses as Eric scoops that one. Was possibly going wide to begin with, but gets that out just to be sure. We got 3 Dragons on the sidewall there, really trying to get this one in. It hits off the post. Unfortunately, nobody to follow it up, so Debt Distributor going to try and bring this one out of harm's way. Zach has to be there in front of the net. Here's Eric leaving that one for Dragon 2. Mutual Jacket's going to block it. So the guy named Zach gets a shot. Blocked away by the Red Dragons team. Debt Distributor not able to keep the pressure on, as this ball is just going to go back and forth between ends, waiting for a slip up for the next potential goal.
Working in the corner. A little bit of a bump there as Drip's trying to find their wheels again and fill the tank up. What a weird deflection there. It headed up north, just high of the goalpost. Second follow-up off the goalposts as Eric clears that away quickly. Debt Distributor chipping into the corner, pre-jumping, ready for a second touch. His beautiful mechanics just didn't connect. So at midfield now, the Bears. Here's Zach off the backboard, second touch, gets it. It's pinched out to the side, so Debt Distributor setting up for another play. No teammate there. It's back at midfield. And on the side wall. Didn't see who that was, but the follow-up is Debt Distributor. No attack from the Bears there. 2.5 minutes left. 1 goal deficit for the Dragons, who are in a must-win position here. Here's Zach from their own corner. Over the midfield line. Great little hit there. It's found the backboard. Follow-up from Debt Distributor. Third teammate was Jacket, who was a little too far out of reach. Off the back wall. That guy named Zach. Second touch beautifully executed. It's slowly rolling at the net. Debt Distributor couldn't get there in time. Beautiful play by Zach once again. Dragons 2, chipping over the midfield line. Got a friend there with him. It's Eric. Eric keeping it alive. Gets around the corner. It's defended by the Bears as they clear out over the midfield line. Here's Zach looking for a ground pinch. And a really cool touch from Jacket. Both teams scrambling in the last 90 seconds.
Guy named Zach's going to read that one from the midfield, sending it back into the Dragons' end. Some back and forth possessions here, a couple shots. Guy named Zach is up, gets a shot, not able to make the save as Dragons 2. As that little like floating shot from the midfield. As I've said before, a good defense is a strong offense. And that one's not able to be bumped off the crossbar and out as the Bears take a 2-0 lead in this Game 5. Red Dragons 2 trying to get something going. Maybe they're squeezing the controller a little tighter here. You know, having to take a bit more chances offensively to try and even the game here so that they can come back in this series. As Dripbug leaves that one for Dragons 2. Eric's going to scoot this one off the sidewall. But Mutual Jacket just kind of playing a little bit of midfield defense as Zach now from the sidewall goes for the triple touch. It hits 2 posts and stays out. Dragons 2 almost putting it back in. Mutual Jacket not able to get that away from Dragon 2. Debt Distributor's going to double touch it to themselves off the sidewall. Bumps their own teammate. Drip now causing a little disturbance as Debt Distributor sends it back into their own end. So Zach's going to pinch it off Mutual Jacket, but Eric gets a demo. Mutual Jacket just getting a save there. Not credited, but that was going in the goal if they didn't put it in. 5 seconds left. 2 goals here. It looks like this one's going to be over as the VGMS Bears are going to take the grand finals 4-1 over the EDS Red Dragons. Well played by both teams. Congratulations, Bears, but well fought by the Red Dragons.
Yeah, what an incredible tournament that was. And what a great performance by all the teams. Really close one there. But the Bears putting up an incredible amount of pressure. Taking the Scholastic National Championship 2025. And we'd like to say thanks to all the players and coaches for making it possible. What a show that was to watch. So I'll leave this up for the screenshots, as I'm sure the teams are celebrating right now. Taking a look at the final bracket. The Bears making their way through all the way to the Grand Championship. Congratulations to the Bears. Once again, thank you to everyone at eSport Canada for making this thing possible. Thank you to the players and the coaches. What an incredible demonstration of teamwork and game mechanics. Just an absolutely fun tournament for Andy and I to call. So my name's Nate Goes Live. I've been joined tonight by Rage Quit Andy in the broadcast booth. And most importantly, we'd like to thank you. Thanks for supporting Scholastic Esports. Thank you for clicking like, subscribe, follow, whatever button's in front of you. Please follow eSport Canada on all the different social platforms so you don't miss future broadcasts and future events. And we'll see you for the next one. Take care, everybody.